Metaphysical Engines Approaching the Event Horizon is the sophomore full-length album from Hadit, and this is a Italian black and death metal band, and one that has expanded from a duo into a trio for this record, where they pulled in their longtime producer and engineer, as well as now bassist, and I believe he brings in some keyboards here with Gabriel Gramaglia from Cosmic Putrefaction and other works. So that is the big thing that is notable up front, is that this was a band that was pretty exciting for their kind of Bolzer-esque sound and some of their rhythmic play that reminded me of Stargazer back in the day, back in 2015 or so. Or beyond there, and their first record sort of played around with that in a very like war metal kind of way. It was very aggressive, but on this record, the big thing is that the bass guitar has sort of elevated the experience to something that has a little bit of more like immolation-esque play with rhythm in there. It's a little bit more clustered together in its effect, and also kind of multi-directional in where it goes. It's a really big change for this band, and for me, this changes their sort of subgenre qualifiers towards something closer to progressive black and death metal. And I think there is still a sort of bestial, aggressive side to the band. But if you're looking for that, most of it stayed back with joy and ardor through the incommensurable path. This record is more focused. It's more contained. The space itself for the production and the recording feels more contained and maybe tightened up in terms of its practiced feeling. So this feels like maybe more of an organic result in some respects, but also more of an out there experimental record in terms of where they take that sound and where they're able to go with this virtuosic interplay between the three musicians. So it's sort of an exponential gain here, and you'll feel that right away as we pull into this clip here and listen to some of their work. So I think my first note was that and this was, of course, any release from Voidhanger Records is going to take a couple more weeks to really soak in and get into. But for me, this was just a surrealistic machine to start. It was not necessarily difficult to follow after the first few listens, but all of it was tunneling together. There was a lot of very dense and very involved pieces here that weren't necessarily catchy. It wasn't meant to be a memorable album, but maybe more of a heady psychedelic death metal experience. That's the way that I saw it. And there are traits here that I would also see in like a Cosmic Putrefaction album, of course, stated entirely different here. But in a way, this was unexpected. I think that this band was known for their kind of loose and rough flair, but also kind of a psychotropic effect. So overall, the big gain here for this second full-length album is a little bit more order in their chaotic world, and I think that really does a lot for the experience. It makes this a much more immersive sort of thing, and a record that I wanted to spend a lot more time with, even after maybe 2 months of listening. I still could return to this album and find something interesting about it. So it is still chaotic enough to where it feels related to the last record, but if you're already a fan, I think that this will feel like an extension of their sound that is entirely natural, but of course additive, and the focus on the rhythm section and just finding more interesting things to do with that just sets this off in a very different way. So if you like that first record, I think you'll still like this again, but I feel like this is a step up. It's an above average record, where the last one was conceptually there, but this is maybe a step up in the performative and maybe more in the realm of arrangements. So anyway, it's a great record. Go check it out. Read the review if you feel like it.